think that we're on time. Well, it says that we're live.
Something's happening.
Something's happening.
Okay, that's good.
Are we live? Are we on?
I think so. No?
Let's just say, are we live
Now
for
it
5 minutes?
now it says it's
Oh,
live on
okay.
my screen.
We need background
All right.
music for all this little pause. We really do. And when we have game sound working, maybe in like Series 7, 3 years from now, we're going to have game sound working. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be the best live stream ever. I'm just gonna talk.
It'll still start 20 minutes late.
I just assume that we're yeah, we will start 20 minutes late. I'm just going to assume that we're live and I'm going to talk. Anyway, hey everybody.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
Sorry for the long pause in our live streaming sessions. We've been very busy with vacation and other kind of stuff. And we're back now to talk about some of the latest stuff happening in Storm Wars, what to expect in the future, and it's a lot of good news. So if you don't know us already, my handle is Sir Valmont. I'm on the dev team doing a lot of design work. Across from me is Kamson, also a player and card game dev, volunteering some of his time on this project, both for the live streaming and for some other secret behind-the-scenes stuff that will remain unspoken about. And we're really just here to present the game to you and present some of what's new. This was probably going to be a video that it's the first episode of season 2 of our live streaming, so it may be a video that once we archive it on YouTube, a lot of people are going to want to watch to get an intro to the game, so we'll probably try to introduce some of the concepts which may already be obvious to some of you existing players, but we'll get through that pretty rapidly, and then we might do some fun stuff like opening a whole bunch of packs and opening a whole bunch of chests and yada yada, asking some trivia and giving you some prizes. Don't sound too excited, JP.
I'm excited.
He's excited. All right, that's good to know. Anyway, that's Kamson. I will refer to him as JP, which is his real name. Sir
right.
Valmont, my real name is George. Those are synonyms. Welcome to Storm Wars, everybody. Thanks for being patient.
Yeah, welcome, guys.
20 minutes late live stream here. Oh, brother.
Really, we're on the earlier side of some
usual.
Of our
yeah.
of usual.
We'll see. What really happens is that every single time we think we're going to get game sound working, and then it doesn't work. And the reason for that is because there's all these different audio channels happening on the live streaming, and sometimes it just doesn't happen.
All right, George. What's on the agenda for today?
Because
we
got Are you trying to move me on here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
People have been waiting patiently.
Shall I hit the play button? Welcome to Storm Wars. This is version 2.64, and we have just recently added an expansion to the game. It's called the Frontiers expansion, and it's got a whole new set of cards, all kinds of new stuff to it. This is a card game that's a casual card game that you can play on a lot of different networks. We're on Congregate, we're on Android mobile. We're about to go on to iOS, that's the Apple devices mobile, and we're also on Facebook. And it's a typical card game where you buy these packs of cards to unlock more cards to your set. You deck build, and you fight against other players with your various decks. We really like the game. It has all kinds of different game modes. It has a PvE mode, a campaign mode, where you explore and follow a quest and follow a storyline. Teaches you the game a little bit. There's a PvP mode that is a basic tournament-style arena, but then there's also drafting tournaments, which are a specific type of PvP in card games where you select decks before you fight. There's faction play, or some people call it clan play. We have them called crews in this game. So there's a lot of social aspects as well, and there's just a whole gamut of options. So I hope everybody tries this game out.
George, a question in the chat. Are we guys going to launch on Steam? I don't know if you mentioned about different platforms.
Yeah, we were greenlit on Steam, and so we were thinking about it. We ended up going with Congregate as a first network, and we may end up on Steam. There are a few things about Steam that are maybe socially or culturally a little bit different than Congregate and other free gaming websites, and so we sort of chose the one instead of the other. We'll probably end up there. I don't know that it's a priority for us to be there immediately, but we are greenlit, so we can go anytime. I'm sure we'll be there eventually. At the moment,
Yeah.
the game's very accessible, though. You can get it from pretty much anywhere. So yeah, for the purposes of this live stream, and we will ask trivia in a little while to some of the people who are watching us live, and if you answer the questions live in the live stream, we'll give you prizes in game, since that's what we promised. But for the purposes of this live stream, if you'd like to ask me any questions, or ask JP any questions, or ask the team any questions, feel free to type those into the Twitch chat, and we will try to actually answer those live as we go.
I'll pick them up and file them, and
you're monitoring that.
Ask them when I can.
I can see the congregate chat from where I am right now. That's one of our networks, but none of us can see the game chat. So you could also ask questions in congregate chat if you wanted to.
So apparently people think you have a lot of gems.
Well, that's the advantage of being a dev. Woo! No, this is actually my player account, and I don't cheat in any way as a dev.
You don't cheat.
Yeah. But the thing about being a dev when you play the game amongst the community is you don't want to be too competitive, because then people get really annoyed. So I've basically just been hoarding golden gems for a while in order to not increase the advantage of my collection. But then also because it's much more fun to open packs on a live stream when everybody can see my luck and lack thereof, probably. So we can go right into the shop and play some Frontiers, or buy some Frontiers packs, but actually it might be more fun to fight a Master Suit,
Speaking of Frontiers, one question which you can address while you do whatever you decide to do is what's your favorite new mechanic or theme in Frontiers? That's a question from TK.
My favorite new theme in Frontiers. Well, I like Curse.
Or new mechanic.
I like Curse as a mechanic, as a debuff. Having a debuff that works as an anti-healing, which is what Curse does, enables us to create new synergies across healing and regeneration and drain, which we're also trying to do. So when we create new mechanics, what we're trying to do is we're trying to broaden the game horizontally. When I say horizontally, I mean as opposed to power creep, as opposed to vertically. I can create a card that's the same as a card that exists but has more attack power. But that kind of starts invalidating other parts of the card pool. The game becomes richer when we're able to create more options that are the same in terms of strength, but different in terms of how they actually work. So horizontal expansion is important, and that can only happen in groups of things, because if I make one part of the metagame strong, I have to make the counter part of the metagame strong too. So I really like Curse because it enables me to create better heal cards and better drain cards and better regen cards because it's an existing counter. Anyway, this is a sort of fun preview of my decks. In this game, you're going to want to build a whole lot of decks. Each deck is run by a hero, and the hero has special abilities that really strongly change how that deck works. So the strategy in Storm Wars is not to play your cards one by one. It's not a manual game. It's an automatic game, but you're going to want to choose the right deck for the matchup. So I can just give you an example of that. Just since this is supposed to be a stream where we're talking about the game. And there are a lot of this particular hero at the moment, Malik. I don't know. I'm not going to create an official pronunciation.
Apparently a lot of Malik or Malik going around these days.
That's right. And so now I'm going to try to take this Malik out with Luther, who's not a good hero to fight against Malik. But you can see this is going to be my deck down here. My cards are going to get played automatically. This is my opponent up here. Anyhow, we are...
Let's see. I have another question while you're playing that game out.
Please.
Let's see. Are you going to do a new campaign soon with new Star Quests?
Good question. Yes. So generally, what happens is the cards in an expansion are, at least in our game world, derived from new parts of the story, and so eventually we will have new parts of the story that talk about where these cards come from, these characters in our universe. So right after this battle, which I'm probably going to lose, we will. I'll go over to the campaign and show you actually the map and explain a little bit about what's going to happen with Frontiers. As a general point, it should be noted that we have a very small team. There's really not a lot of people working on the game at the moment. We're kind of all doing it ourselves, and so creating things like new content takes a lot of effort and a lot of time. And at the moment, we're very focused on getting the game up on iOS, on iPhone, operating system. So looks like I might win this game. So until that happens, I don't think that we're going to have a campaign mode out, but I think that we're just a few weeks out from the iOS stuff, so that's good news.
Okay.
Anyway, so as you can see, that was an automated game. I didn't have to click or do anything, but it was the fact that I had deck built my deck and chose my matchup based on seeing who the hero is of the opponent that I was able to win the match. So it really makes a big difference which hero you use. I will show you now. We have 24 heroes in the game. These are all the heroes. You unlock them through various achievements in the game, being successful in the campaign, being successful in PvP. Some of them are premium heroes, so you pay the premium currency to unlock them. But it should be noted that in Storm Wars, the premium currency is available to everyone, these gems. This is strictly as a free player. I have not put any money into accumulating these gems. So I have 3,500 gems right now, and these premium heroes cost 150 apiece. And you also earn more gems by owning them, because as they level up, you earn gems. Anyway, so each of these heroes do different things. This is a hero who attacks fast cards really well, but doesn't attack slow cards well. This is a hero who specifically buffs a particular type of unit, robots basically, in our game. This is a hero who uses random debuffs on enemies and also heals the remedy or the status of one of his own units, and so on and so forth. This hero attacks the other hero directly. Each of these are different strategies. They will imply that you want to use different cards, and so on.
George, I got a couple questions in the chat.
Go ahead.
Which you can pick up when you have a chance. One quick one. Are you working on leveling the crew battle spread? I'm not sure what that refers to, especially, but if you can decipher it.
We are working on crews in general, and we're trying to improve some of the way the UX works there. It's the case that crews, which are our form of clans, I'll go there right now. This is the main menu. As you can see, I keep hopping back to it. Let me hop into the crews section. Crews are clans of players. They're teams of players that fight against each other in this sort of organized PvP. So this is a list of the crews here in sort of their ranking order. You can see we have a whole lot of crews. Each one of these is up to 20 players. Many of them are full. There is some gapping that happens. The rich get richer and the strong get stronger as the cruise season goes on, and the top players get access to more cards. So we are working on ways to not have that be too gapped. And it's a tricky thing, but we get a lot of feedback from the community and pay heed so that we can adjust things accordingly. I can hop over here just by way of example to the Congregate forums. And this is probably the best place to talk to us or leave us feedback. We have here at the very top a sticky thread called Feature Requests and Improvements. And if you have any issue with the game about balance or anything like that, well, there's actually a balance thread just below it, but you can leave us a comment. And we read this every single day and respond to it almost every single day. So a lot of the content in the game has been derived of player suggestions.
So, George, another question for you. Yeah. What is the next priority on the dev plate moving forward, i.e., besides fixing bugs? What can we expect
so there's a lot of bug fixing going on right now because of the expansion, which sort of broke a few things. But the biggest priority right now is getting us working on iOS, which is the iPhone version of mobile and tablets. That way we can expand our audience even more. We have a promotion going on with Congregate right now, and we have another big promotion that's coming up that I won't exactly explain what that is yet, but it's going to be for mobile. So we hope to get a lot more players. And when we get a lot more players, that empowers us to do kind of everything. I mean, if we want to then focus on building a lot more content, we'll be able to have the resources to do that. After iOS, it's not entirely sure. Somebody was asking about Campaign. I do think that Campaign will be one of the next major content updates, but it's difficult to know exactly when that will be. So here I am on the Campaign map, and you can see that this is a beautiful rendered 3D map here. I don't know how many of you guys have noticed that there's this little island hidden up here in the northwest, by the way. And I'm zooming in now. You can see this is my little ship here. Did you notice that on the main menu, you're basically the captain of a boat, a flying ship?
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that.
See that little island in the background? Isn't the art great?
George, Be honest. Is Malik overpowered?
Are you just reading the chat? Stop interrupting my
No,
monologue with ridiculous
I'm
questions.
not reading the chat. I'm interpreting the chat.
Right. I should have replaced the Oracle card art with you. Yeah. He might be a little overpowered at the moment. I'll explain what I think about him in a second.
Does he have a counter? Do you think? Because you know
He does
how
have a
every
counter.
hero.
Look,
He does.
there's a lot that goes into that, and I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of it before I explain that basically the way this game works. I'll finish my point and then get to yours. Is that on the campaign map, you fly around between these different levels. As you beat them, you unlock nodes next to them, and you're basically traveling around this world of Atlantia, uh, solving the various quests that we throw at you. And in so doing, you learn how to play the game, and you advance your cause, and you earn rewards. So I can just give you an example. There's a little bit of a dialogue here, playing through the quest, and then you get these battles that you fight in. So this will teach you the game as you go. And so we will expand that. We'll probably have some islands that are down below Atlantia there, I think is probably where we'll have them geographically. I think we're going to have 2 new islands, which are going to be the Frontiers Islands. They're going to be the new frontiers. And those are going to basically introduce to you all the lore behind the Frontiers cards, which we've just launched. So the next thing I'll do is I'll go to the shop and I'll show you those packs, and maybe we'll buy a whole bunch of packs. But let me answer the question about Malik, and I'll put it this way. Malik is a hero who's at the top of our metagame right now. There are 24 heroes. He's the most popular hero. And the way this game works is you select which of your decks is on defense. So other players are going to be playing against that deck anytime they battle you. Malik is the most popular hero on defense right now. What ends up happening, which it's a little bit has to do with just the way the social aspect of the game works too. When people see top players playing a deck, they want to play it too. But many people see Malik in the arena and in the PvP places where they're fighting other opponents. So it looks a little bit disjointed that one hero is so overrepresented. So everybody naturally assumes that he's overpowered. The fact is that he's the best hero on defense because he's the most versatile and he's the most difficult to counter. And that generally is going to be the hero that's always used on defense. However, on attack, in other words, what players are using to win these battles and so on, it's not entirely Malik. There's a lot of other heroes that get used a lot. So he's not as overpowered as you might think. It has a lot more to do with the way things match up, the fact that you're choosing a matchup, and that on defense he's hard to beat than anything else, which is why you see him in the arena. But I do think he's a little overpowered insofar as he has the advantage that he cuts in half the wait time for one of his units every turn. And we have some very, very big, heavy units that are very slow because they're so powerful. He's able basically to play them as fast as other heroes are able to play normal cards. And that's a huge advantage. So we may need to dial back a little bit on Malik, but I'm not planning any kind of a nerf that's aggressive and annoying for people. Anyway,
do you think it'll always be inevitable that your defense or the defense hero that's the most popular, or let me rephrase that, players will inevitably gravitate towards one defense hero? Do you think that that's kind of an inevitability?
I think that is inevitable, but I do think that we'll probably pivot a little bit and we'll change the system a little bit. We'll alter exactly how these interactions happen. And so that won't always be the case. There are a lot of wonderful matchups in Storm Wars. It's one of the most interesting, balanced card games that I've ever known of, and that either of us have ever really been a part of, I think, which is why we're on the project. And we're lifelong card game players, you and I, since the mid-'90s, yep. Basically. And also from a developer standpoint. So one can appreciate subtle and good balance in a game, and this game really has it. So it's a shame if you don't have the ability to see the hero matchups that exist as a result of the way the content is set up. So we'll get there, and I actually think it works very well right now, but that's a refinement that we'll get to. Okay, so I'd like to do a couple of things. First of all, I'd like to generally ask the Twitch chat to tell me whether you approve of me splurging a whole bunch of money on Frontiers packs here, whether you prefer that I do that or buy something else with my various gems. My inclination is to buy the Frontiers packs so we can see some of the new cards.
before you start spending, why don't we do a little spending by issuing a trivia
And
question?
I was getting to that. The other thing that I was going to say is that look what I've done is I've saved up in my equipment. I only have 2 pieces of equipment. These are hero equipments. Everybody's asking me in the game, why am I only using these 2 bad ones? Well, because I knew I was going to live stream, and down here I've got all these equipment boxes that I'd like to open in front of everyone and see what equipments I'm going to get. So we can figure out what we want to do first. But all right, we'll ask a trivia question. What do you want to give away, John Paul?
Should we start with gold or?
You're so
I don't
boring.
Okay. That's why I said or.
Or let's
Or?
give away, I don't know. Let's give away an equipment box. People like equipment boxes,
Okay.
don't they?
In that case, let's go for it.
Do we dare give away something as good as an epic equipment box on our first trivia question?
I think so. I think that's a fair reward
All right.
for our loyal viewers.
Here's how trivia works. I ask a question. The first 3 people to type the correct answer into the Twitch chat, as judged by John Paul, will win an epic equipment box, which will be sent to you in your in-game mail. And I'm sure people will be asking about 5 minutes after the Twitch, and they'll be all upset that it'll take more than 10 minutes to get there. But it will get there in about 10 minutes after the Twitch stream. So we've done this before. What question should I ask?
We have a question about let's see, because I've made a note of these.
Yes, we did prepare. We actually prepared. I know what I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask the Dark Elf question.
Okay, I have it written down.
You have it written down? You know the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the trivia question. Get your fingers ready. First 3 people to answer this correctly in the chat are going to win the equipment box. You have to type out the full name of the card to which is the answer to this question. You cannot type just part of it. And the question is, what is the epic card in the new set, in the Frontier set, which is a Dark Elf that you can obtain by evolving rare cards? There's only one. What is the Dark Elf epic card in Frontiers that you can obtain by evolving rare cards? And you know what? I am going to start opening Frontiers packs. I'm not even going to wait.
All right, well, I'm waiting for the answers to start rolling in. Looks like people have already started answering.
I got an epic on my first try. Yes, I got an epic on my first try. I am so lucky. Oh boy, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's not.
I love
it's not
Gloom.
because you're cheating or anything.
It's not because I'm cheating. I'm not. I'm so totally not cheating.
All right, so we have 3 people, 3 winners.
We have 3 winners. The answer being
first Constructor Oa is the right answer, and first 3 people to get it right are Asian Dude, Yubo, and Captain Thunder.
Well
Walker.
done. Congratulations, you will receive your epic chests. Now, let me just point out that you need to tell John Paul what your in-game name is. You need to type it exactly. He probably knows in some of your cases, but that's the only way we're going to be able to give you your prizes. Congrats, epic chest. Look at this pack. Look at this pack. Lishi, which I love. Virecall, which is an awesome spell. And Gloom, which is an awesome epic. I mean, I should just stop right here. Live stream over. Mic drop.
No. Don't stop now. Now you're on a roll.
All right. I'm pretty excited about that. Virecall is a spell that basically turns one of your creatures into a vampire. It gives it drain and some attack power. Gloom is a new card that has Hexbolt, actually, which is a long-range curse. So we were talking about cursing earlier. And the Lishi is a card that's immune to magic, which is pretty awesome. All right, let's get another one. I'm sure it'll be just as good. There won't be any kind of letdown. Oh, look, I got another Lishi. Wow. And Dark Coercion. Dark Coercion's a good spell, though. Dark Coercion mills your opponent directly. You can see here in the top left corner, this is a card that I can evolve because it has a little plus sign.
George has always been a fan of milling deck strategies.
I have.
I can vouch for that.
How dare you vouch for that? I have. I admit it. It's because I'm Dutch and it's from the land of windmills. Mills. Never mind. Let's see if I can get a
George,
better pack. I want a legendary.
question from ZVI 55. What
Baskerville.
kind of stat weights do you use to determine the card scoring in your spreadsheet? Are you going to add the Frontiers set to said spreadsheet soon?
Well, here is the spreadsheet that's being talked about. It's called the SWAG, the Storm Wars Analytics Guide, and I basically I don't want people to think this is some sort of official statement about what cards are better than others. This is just my way of balancing things in the background in terms of stats, and it's a complex spreadsheet with many tabs that lists all the skills and then weights them. As you can see here, these are all the weights, and then scores all the cards accordingly. It measures things like synergy and other such things. I can go into the details, but it's rather complex. The simple way to think about it is it measures a card's stats, it measures a card's skills, and then it measures the synergy between those two things. And synergy is a complex thing. If I have a skill that says gives +1 to all infantry, as opposed to a skill that says gives +1 to all, I don't know, Mycosians. Well, there are a lot fewer Mycosians in our game than there are infantry, so gives +1 to all infantry is a better skill. But that also has to do with how well it synergizes with infantry or Mycosians in terms of its other stats. So these are complex things. You can see that all the Frontiers cards are already here, by the way. I do need to balance all the new skills, so the Frontiers card scores are probably going to be a little off at the moment. I will try to get to that sooner rather than later.
Okay.
I have gained the following cards. I gained Clone, which is a really cool spell. I'm gaining a lot of spells. And Baskerville is probably the best rare in the set, I would think. I'm going to just keep purchasing in the background. So we just do another trivia question while we're at it?
Well, you did mention Mycosians, so...
I did mention Mycosians. Shall we ask a Mycosian trivia question? Look at this, Marilith. Marilith's is awesome.
We could do that. Oh,
oh, look, Raycatcher. This is the uncommon that will evolve into a Flux Mage, which is the rare that will evolve into Constructor Oa. How apropos. Speaking of Gloom also that I got earlier, this Darkling will eventually evolve into it. All right, sure, let's ask another trivia question. Shall we give out gems this time?
Sure. Shall we go for 25 gems? Is that what we give out?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say 26. All right, 25 gems to each person who gets the following trivia question correct.
Well, we said
top three people.
The first three people, right?
You get the following trivia question right. Okay, here's a question about Mycosians. You have to type the full card name out to get credit.
What is the only card in Star Wars? I tried to.
Are you trying to hijack? Are you trying to ninja my question?
Ninja the question. Okay,
you go ahead.
All right. What is the only card in Storm Wars which counts as a Mycosian, but doesn't have the word Mycosian in its title?
Right, and I'll just give you a clue that the answer is not Great Gorgu, because it's a wall, so it can't count as a Mycosian. So what's the only card that counts as a Mycosian but doesn't say Mycosian in the title? That's an interesting question. Good job coming up with it, John Paul.
It's funny that you prevented or that you preempted everyone from using Great Gorgu, but then 3 people said Great Gorgu.
Well, that's because there's a delay on the on the stream. Is anybody getting it right? It's not that easy. It's totally worth 25 gems, though.
I see. Oh, I was about to say I don't see the right answer, but I'm still waiting for people to type in. Okay. I see correct answers.
Do you see 3 of them?
I see 3 correct answers.
Well, the correct answer is in fact Cytosian. Many people may not know that, but you will note that Great Gorgu can heal the Cytosian, and therefore it is a Mycosian. Basically, all you had to do was think of cards that are Spider People cards that aren't spiders. I guess Nullbug is technically one.
Cytosian.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Congrats to whoever the 3.
Yeah, Captain Thunderwalker again, Yubo again, and Mog Lazor.
Congrats, guys. We will send you 25 gems. They will be in your mailbox. Now, in the meantime, I'm burning my gems here, trying to get a legend. Trying to get a legendary. Epic Darius. Woo! I got another Storm Elemental. I love those guys. Paul Caster is probably my favorite art that's in the game right now. If I had really planned ahead on this live stream, I would have gotten you the full res, high res version to show you. But yeah, I didn't plan ahead.
But you don't do that stuff. Planning is for losers.
All right, you know what? I could open this in the background if I really wanted to. Hold on a second. See, this is spur of the moment here. Spur of the moment. Let's just open this right here. Bang. How do you like that? I don't know if you can see that. Isn't that awesome? I mean, let's just be honest. Isn't that awesome?
I'll give it to you. That art
is pretty damn sweet.
It's about 90% awesome.
All right. Well, that's not really centered on your screen, but never mind. All right, we're gonna keep opening packs until I get a legendary. Unless people want me to do something else. Do you want to perhaps see my various decks? Do you want me to open equipment boxes and see if I can get any good equipment? Maybe we'll save the equipment boxes for a live stream about equipment.
Yeah, equipment boxes are fun.
They are fun. I need a legendary here, guys. Come on now.
I think
it's pretty rare to open a legendary.
It's really difficult.
I might be here a while. Yeah. If you've opened a legendary in a pack, consider yourself very lucky. Yeah! 2 rares and a legendary. Now that's a good pack right there.
What?
2 rares and a legendary. What? That's pretty good. I totally pressed the cheat button. No, I didn't. Legendary Darius.
You engage the cheat clutch.
I love Legendary Darius. He's so good. He's fearless. All right. Let's see here. Rare epic. Two great packs in a row. Shall we go just a few more here?
George, why don't I ever have that kind of a luck?
Do you not know where the cheat button is located? The dev cheat button?
Apparently people are not so keen on Great Gorgu as a legendary or epic.
Yeah, so we're going to probably make a balance pass in the next day, and I really urge you guys, if you have opinions on what needs to be balanced, to come over here to our forums and just let us know. In fact, I can start a thread right now. Well, no, I won't do that because there's too many threads already, but there's plenty of threads here where you can state your opinion, voice your opinion on what needs to be nerfed or buffed. And we will most likely listen to you. I expect that I probably will buff Great Gorgu this weekend, and probably Mammon as well, because people think he's terrible.
Well, whatever deficiencies Great Gorgu has as a card is more than made up by its great name. I mean, Great Gorgu.
It's pretty great. I mean, yeah. Thanks a lot. Let's just pat ourselves on the back for that one. Yeah, it's pretty good. I have to admit that I was a little bit influenced by Final Fantasy I, which has a volcano called Gurgu Volcano.
Oh, okay.
I might have changed the name ever so slightly. It's my revenge. It's my revenge because I always, when I was a kid, I was like, that sounds like a big Oku type of a creature. That doesn't sound like a volcano. Never mind.
I don't remember it. Oh my god. You remember the most
bizarre,
trivial things.
This is a really good wolf pack card here. All right. Shall I keep going, or are we going to do something else here?
Well, you're going to answer the question, is there still like a 9 to 10 pack guaranteed epic drop rate approximately?
I don't know if it's yes, the rates are the same as they've always been. The dragon rates are the same as the Frontiers rates, actually, the expansion packs. Actually, maybe we should talk about this a little bit. So the way this is distributed is we have our core set, which is available for gold. You can also spend gems on a guaranteed epic pack. That's actually, if you're a new player, a very good way to do it because you want to accumulate as many epics as possible to make yourself competitive early on. These are the expansion packs, and as we create more expansions, we generally will discount the old ones. So you can see dragons are on a really nice discount right now. They're 40% off, basically. So you get the same drop rate for rares and epics and legendaries between these expansion packs. So obviously the Dragons pack is a pretty sweet deal. I'm buying the Frontiers packs because they're the new cards, they're the new mechanics. I don't have them yet, and they're a lot of fun to play with. But it would be totally reasonable to spend money on Dragons packs instead, or spend premium currency, I should say.
Okay.
Anyhow, yeah. Let's.
When will gold be useful again?
Wow, the
Asks
Dariuses I keep
J-Man.
getting. Well, we will introduce some new uses for gold eventually. At the moment, unless you've already accumulated like 8 million gold or something like that over the lifespan of the game, it's still pretty useful to buy standard packs of cards, because all the standard epics and legendaries, most of them in the core set, are really pretty useful, I think. So I recommend that people keep on with that.
Mm-hmm. When will dragon packs make their way, or dragon expansion cards make their way into those packs?
Into the core set?
Into the core set,
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
Or will that not happen?
I'm not really sure that we're going to change the core set by adding expansion cards into the core set. Maybe we'll expand the core set itself at some point. But I'm not really sure that we'll do that. It doesn't really seem necessary. I mean, again, you get 25 free gems a day as a free player just for the Colosseum, and that doesn't count all the gems you get for the arena and for cruise and various other things. So you're perfectly capable of, certainly at a price point of 15 gems, of acquiring the expansions. And there are other ways to get expansion cards too, through gambling, which is something that you can do through your army screen, which I can show you. It's basically when you use the card combiner, instead of evolving a card, you sacrifice several cards of the same rarity to get a random new card of that rarity, but it can be from any set. And there are some items as well, treasures that you find in chests that give you one card of a given rarity, and that can be from any set as well. Actually, you can also, for your daily login, get a card from any set.
Okay.
I've sort of run out of luck here. My packs are now bad, but oh well.
Yeah, well, after getting a legendary...
Ooh, Constructor. I mean, that's pretty much what I wanted to do, is I wanted to get her to show everybody.
Oh, Georgie. Oh, Georgie.
Shall we fight?
Are you planning to change up the single card shop?
I think it works pretty well as a way of acquiring core set cards if you're a new player or a veteran player looking to finish off your collection. Look at this, a legendary Quetzalcoatl. Woo! I guess I've really been sitting here buying for a long time, huh?
Jesus, I guess so. Are those legendaries justified based on the number of gems you spent?
I don't know. I spent like 1,000 gems. So I got two legendaries within 1,000 gems. I think that's a pretty fair and reasonable drop rate.
It's good. So one per 500.
Something like that. Let's see here. So if I wanted to combine stuff, I'm going to have a whole bunch of stars in my army because it indicates that I have new cards in each category. This is the card combiner down here at the bottom right. So if I click to open that, I can add certain cards that I've acquired that have this combiner symbol on it. I can combine cards and I can pay a little bit to get a higher tier card. That is the main way that most people are going to get legendaries, actually, because they're going to turn epic cards into legendary cards by combining them. 4 of any given epic turns into the legendary version of that card, as you can see here. This is Odysseus, one of our core set epics. And what I was saying earlier about acquiring cards from different sets is you have this treasures screen where you have slots into which you can place chests that you find along the way as you win battles in the campaign, in the arena. Chests drop randomly. They open themselves after a certain period of time, so you can hold up to 8 at a given time. And in those chests, you're going to find all these various treasures, which include, incidentally, the equipment boxes that I was referring to earlier. And of course, in the equipment boxes, you'll find equipment. Equipment is, these are items that you equip directly to your hero when you're building your army. You can see up here at the top right that my current hero has 2 pieces of equipment in it.
Apparently the chat is clamoring for you to gamble legendaries.
All right, let's gamble some legendaries. Woo! No, I'm not going to do that. They just want me to lose. All right, let's see. Let me stick some legendaries in here and see what happens.
They don't want you to lose. They just want you to not win.
Hold on. What other legendaries do I even own that are not in my current deck?
When we gamble core set cards, can we win frontier cards? I think that's what you said, right?
Gamble. I'm totally not
Right?
doing that.
Do
Yes, you can win
yes,
Frontiers
you
cards
can.
by gambling core set cards. You can.
Right, right. That's what I thought.
Look at all these little new symbols. So one of the things that people always ask me is, how do I see cards that I don't own? You'll see in the sort options here that you can click Show All Cards. I'm going to sort by rarity in the other direction. And I should be able to see all the cards here, even the ones that I don't own. Isn't that great?
Why isn't Quetzalcoatl a dragon?
Did you just have an aneurysm? What? Are you okay?
Well, there's a question in chat. Why isn't Quetzalcoatl a dragon?
All right. Well, I hope the person who asked the question appreciates that you're asking the question in that voice. Quetzalcoatl is not a dragon. Quetzalcoatl is an elemental. It's a power, a lightning elemental. That's why.
You mean
Because a Quetzalcoatl isn't a dragon. That's why.
You mean Quetzalcoatl?
It's sort of like a dragon. It's actually it's an Aztec
Like a
thing.
feathered-
It's a feathered, snake. Right.
Serpentine thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyhow, all right. Well, that's our.
All right, I think we need to do another trivia and another giveaway because my time is running short.
Oh, that's right. Well, JP does need to go, so let's just blame him.
I see time as a midget running.
Short. Okay, now that we've managed to alienate that part of our user base, thank you, John Paul. We'll win it back on the bearded population. Anyway, do you want to ask a trivia question? Here. You know what? Actually, let's ask the chat. What topic would you like a trivia question about within the realm of Storm Wars? And we'll come up with one on the fly. Shall I add wolves to my Curie deck while I'm waiting?
Yeah, you could do.
Look, I got 3 Xenias. I mean, isn't that awesome? Now I get to test whether she's any good. I think she is. She has 6 life.
All right, there's one proposal to. Oh my God, there's 3 different. I mean, lore, numbers, treasures, crew. There's 2 for lore. Okay, maybe we should just do something about the lore.
Something about the lore of the game?
Yeah. Lore question. Lore trivia.
Lore trivia. Okay. Here's a good lore trivia question for you. The lore trivia question is... Let me just make sure I'm right here. No, I was going to say something that was wrong. Talk amongst yourselves. Darn it. That was going to be such a good question. Never mind. Okay.
Couldn't you just ask the question but have the right answer instead of not the right answer?
I don't think it works that way. Here's a question. If you play through the campaign, you encounter a lot of NPCs, a lot of characters. Many of those NPCs are heroes. In other words, they're the hero cards in our game. What is the only faction from which there is no hero that plays a role as an NPC in our game yet in the campaign? One of the 6 factions has 4 hero cards, none of which appear in our campaign as an NPC. What's that faction?
Interesting.
I think that was a pretty good question, don't you? Are you getting any answers from people?
I'm getting answers, but I don't know what the right answer is.
You don't know what the right answer is?
I mean, it's been ages since I played the campaign. It's been like months.
All right, well, I assume that there's going to be 3 right answers in there. I'll give you a clue. The main bad guy at the beginning is Catharas, and he's obviously a nameless horde, so that's not the right answer. One of the first quests you fight against is against Otuk, and he's an orc, so that's not the right answer.
So that's not the right
People
answer.
on your team include Atlantean,
and a dark elf.
Oh wait, you know what? Are there any of the Atlantean heroes in the campaign? Come to think of it, because Laertes and Merhin aren't in there, and neither are Luther and Bellatrix. So I'm wrong. So there's 2 correct answers. God darn it.
Yeah, damn
the other
it,
one is
George.
Spider People. There's neither Spider People nor... Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I didn't prepare.
All right, the first
3 people to either
answers.
say Atlanteans or Spider People.
All right.
Wait,
all right.
You know what?
So
we didn't even tell them what we were going to give away. Great trivia question, John Paul. Great job. Let's ask a trivia question. For God's sake. All right, you know what? We'll just make you a dev for a day. That'll be the prize. You can probably do this better than us.
Okay, that was good.
What are we giving away? Gary. Seriously, what are we giving away? It better be something good at this rate.
25 gems.
Again?
Oh, no.
We already did that.
Wait. We already did that? Okay.
In the past, we used to give away glowstones.
But...
I don't know, but...
Okay.
But anything.
But nothing. Okay. Well, TK4L, Asian Dude is on, and GM Gary. First 3 correct answers.
Well, hold on. Maybe I can think of something good. How about if we give them... we should just give them gems. That's the best prize. I'll just give you gems. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah,
25 gems
that's reasonable.
All right. Woo! This is why we need music. This is why we need game sound. Because if we have game sound, then this whole stream becomes so much more, interesting and great. And all right. Anyway, I think we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah, we should wrap up. Unfortunately, I have to drop fairly quickly. Okay. Because I'm a little behind schedule.
All right, guys. If you answered trivia questions correctly, please tell John Paul your in-game name, so he knows how to award you prizes. And the other thing I would say is please follow our Twitch channel. Please just take a moment to follow our Twitch channel. Normally, by the way, when we do trivia, we only give prizes to people who are following our Twitch channel. We're probably not going to check because we didn't make that disclaimer at the beginning this time. But when you follow our Twitch channel, when you actually follow our social networks, Facebook and Twitter, incidentally, when you do these things, what it does is it enables us to market better, because a Twitch channel that has a lot of views and a lot of followers is an easier Twitch channel to market, and it means that we'll be able to get support and sponsorship, and it will make the game grow and be good for everybody. So we really appreciate it. It's not a particularly hard thing to do. Please do it. It's a pretty good sales pitch.
It was a pretty good sales pitch.
Thank you.
More people want more free stuff, but
more people want more free stuff.
I'm gonna leave that one on you, George, because
should we do one more trivia question just because we're nice?
Okay, in less than 3 minutes. Go.
Okay, JP has to leave. All right. So we'll just give you 3 glowstones if you get this right. You can sell glowstones for gems if you don't like them. They're also very useful in crew battles. Here's a trivia question for you. What is the only elemental that can be summoned by a Mariel that is not an uncommon card? That's pretty tricky, right?
Okay.
It's going to be in here somewhere. It's going to be in here somewhere about... People getting it right?
The first answer is Malik.
That's not correct. Anyway, thanks for watching our stream, guys. And I'm sorry about the sound. I mean, we keep trying and it just doesn't happen for whatever reason. We'll try to get it for next time. And we'll write a script for next time. So we won't spend an hour trying to make the sound work and then not have a script ready for the live stream. Oh, brother. Maybe I'm going to make this.
All right, what's the right answer, George? Because there's plenty of answers.
The right answer is right here on the screen. It's Wood Spirit. She can summon 7 different elementals: fire elemental, water, air, earth.
Will you accept wood?
Sure.
Or wood elemental?
Wood's fine. I didn't specify that you had to say the entire name. The other 6 are going to be Will-O-Wisp, which is a new one, fire, air, water, earth, and time, and those are all uncommon.
Okay, Flydenox and Aura Warrior, if you guys have in-game names that are different from your...
Probably Flydenox. in game unless he's being tricky.
Okay, and Aura Warrior, I don't know.
Yes, please tell JP your in-game name. Please spell it correctly, and we will give you each 3 glowstones. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll have sound next time.
All right, thanks guys. Again, let me know if your name is different from your game name, and yeah, look forward to this next time.
And our community continues to grow. We'll be on more networks. We hope you keep playing. Comment on our forums, follow our Twitch channel, and maybe we'll see you again next weekend.
Yeah, let's make Storm Wars great again.
Okay, that's interesting. Again, I think we'll leave on that note.
But it's already great. Okay, let's go. Bye.
Cheers.